you do the math, that's a lot of hours. No, but for real, if you do the math, we're talking nearly over 100 days of sessions. So I got the experience in. I'm ready to share some insight with you, and I'm gonna actually do a continuation of a previous session. We're gonna do part 2.
Hey everyone. Good evening, good Sunday evening. I don't know if you guys if you can see me. I definitely want to share with you on this evening some great insight in reference to money psychology and how that actually helps you develop a skill set to learn how to get money in non-traditional
Get it going.
areas.
What did I call this?
So
7 years of trading lessons.
stay tuned. Watch the screen, please.
So I think I left off at, it was lesson number 9 last time. Yeah, perfect. All right. So it's nice and bold here. So actually, before I get started, let me know, fam, how long have you been trading? What's your journey like? Let me know, guys. How many days, weeks, months, years have you been in this journey as a trader, as an investor? What's it looking like? I want to see what kind of group, what kind of space we have in here. And it's cool because usually we have a bit of a mix, and I absolutely love seeing veteran traders on here, especially the Sunday sessions, because it really comes to show how important it is to just feed your emotional intelligence. Noches Magos, saludos de El Salvador. What's up, man? And I'm a big dog. Boss, buenas noches. What's up, guys? Remember the Spanish session, la sesión en español es la que sigue. So the Spanish session is the next one. Texas, Indiana, Puerto Rico, Portugal. I love it, I love it, I love it. If you are in Prime, I need to hear y'all over here. 1 month. I started IM back in May 2021. Started taking trading serious in December. 14 months, 1 year next month. I love it. 3 years, 4 to 5 months, 1 year, 2 months. Beautiful. So we have some, look at this, guys. This is a mixture. And as you can see, one thing you're going to notice is, and this is unfortunate, but a lot of times people don't realize how important this Sunday session is until too late, until months and years in, and you realize, wow, I really should have been putting people onto this session. Because to be honest, guys, this Sunday session is personal development intertwined with trading. That's what you're really getting, is personal development intertwined with trading and proper expectations. So just something for you guys to think about. If you're not on this session every week, I feel like you're kind of tripping. ¿Cuánto tiempo es la clase de español? Empieza en 38 minutos. 2 years. What's up, Marilisa? 2 years, man. Girl, you've been grinding. Let's get it. All right, guys. So let's start. Let's dive into it. I know we started a little late, but I want to go ahead and drop some value before we continue. So, the last thing we ended off was with the following. I mentioned how different strategies work for different people in different places at different times. And, your approach to the market isn't the only thing that works. Now, remember, the way that we teach, and for those of you that are wanting to learn the technicals behind trading, that's another bootcamp that we have that you can find at bouncebacklaunch.com/bootcamp. And it gives us a massive edge, right? That does give us a huge edge understanding how most people think, understanding how the big money thinks, and approaching the market like that. But regardless, your strategy alone isn't what gets you paid; it's your discipline, right? And with that being said, that's going to be the next topic. Over the years of learning that I want to share here, and it's the traders who have an uncontrollable urge to make money lose money. Okay, so I'll have it here. The traders who have no control over their desire for money, long-term and of losing money. So, look, when I started trading, I wanted freedom, right? That was my purpose. That was my mission. That was like, that's the reason that got me plugged. Like, that's what really sold me on this idea was the freedom of being a trader, making money all over the world, which at this point, like we've been able to experience. But I mean, that was so cool to just be able to, you guys understand, why you're here. But what I started to realize was, it changed my perception of how money works. And then suddenly I went from, being super broke to being still being broke, but understanding that I could not be, right? But what happened was I was really forcing everything. And I was chasing money, and I wanted it quickly, right? It wasn't just the fact that I wanted money. I don't think a desire for money is bad. I don't think money is your inherent right. It is your right to have money. But when that money comes through these markets, that's the part that's a bit not as direct. And so I was looking to force getting paid now. So this is where the discipline and the control come into play. I was following confirmations, but my risk was crazy. I was wanting money so fast. I wanted to be free. I wanted to prove that this works so fast, so bad, that I wasn't trading with the proper. I wanted money now. So that led to mistakes. And even then, like, you might have some of those plays where you make money. You might make big money, but all of a sudden, even when you're up a lot, you can get clouded. You kind of lose your mind. And you might be seeing more than you've ever seen before, but that greed, you can so easily fall into. So, I'm just thinking, like, what do I do? And I started to realize the reason I'm not making money is because that's all I'm chasing. I'm not chasing the skill set. I'm not chasing the discipline, right? I'm not looking to approach this in a professional way, to really have an understanding of what I'm doing. I'm just going for money. And this market doesn't pay you based on how bad you want it. The market pays you based on how good you trade your plan. You pay yourself. But without control, you also have no control over when you get paid and when you lose it all. So this is one of the a key lesson I want to pass on to you all is to really reflect: do you or do you not have control over the desire for money? Like I said, if you notice here, it doesn't say that desiring money is bad. It's not having control over your desire. Because the question then becomes, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to break in order to get it? And is that duplicatable? Because based on your control for money, on your desire, that's gonna depend. That's gonna really show you whether you can keep it and duplicate it or not. Here's the first lesson. First lesson of the session. Next one. Go on here because you want to know, okay, well, what time are people supposed to speak? What time can I expect volatility? You can see, okay, well, you have Euro news at 3, 3:30, 4:30, and then there's all these numbers and percentages and all this other stuff. But then you realize, okay, hold on, what does this all mean? There's all these opinions and all these forums, but all of that is a distraction. So that's why here, for this one, I really want to say less is more. Less is more. Learn to block out the noise. So where you're going to be over time, over experience, over repetition, you're going to trust your strategy and process, and that is going to have the most value to you. Now, how you become a consistent and disciplined trader is going to be based on your ability to follow your plan without other outside influences. So use different opinions and perspectives for what they are, which is perspectives. It doesn't have to be your perspective. Right? Don't become someone else because it's just available to you. Use it. Leverage it. That's 11. This is one that I think is really important just because I know everyone here is trading. You have chats. You have all these things. And so they're great. But really trust yourself. Trust yourself. If people are giving you perspective on confirmations and reminders on a psychological level, that's amazing. But if it's like different perspectives in analysis, just you have to become aware. Okay, well, how well do I know how to do this analysis? Could this person be right? Am I missing something? All right, cool. I still believe my awesome pull trader. So here, this one, and this is one that's gonna, this is one that I feel like so many people don't understand what I'm about to say, and everyone hears me, but it doesn't actually change what you do. So this next one's one that I see most people even now still don't get it. So this is the one I'm about to tell you guys. So, and this is why I'm going to say this, maybe this will make more sense. But remember, I've educated for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. And I've got to see traders come up, traders fall down, some get back up, some never do. And I'm going to base it to really one key ingredient. And over all this time, the common factor, whether someone eventually gets to where they want to get to, get that discipline that they're seeking, the following statement is as true as can be. Without the right trading psychology, you will never be a professional here. without the proper trading psychology, you will not survive in these markets. And this is just facts. You may have moments, you could have bursts of success. You could have those days where you feel good, but if you don't have the right psychology when it comes to this, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. You might look lit on IG for a week, a month, maybe even a quarter. But once you do hit a wall in one way or another, once just the universe, life tests you. Will you survive?
So saying without the proper trading psychology, you will not survive in these markets. So you definitely have to develop a psychology.
Does today's loss affect tomorrow's trade? Does tomorrow's win affect the next trade? What's your perception to every side of the coin, right? So this is the thing, and the reason I'm saying most people hear this, but they don't get it. You think you get it, but you probably still don't get it. It's because of the following. If you know, right, if you know 90% of success is based on your psychology to these markets, if you understand that, then why is it that we give 90% of our time to the charts? Why are we not developing our mind, developing our emotional intelligence, developing our discipline, when those are the things that actually get you paid? Once you understand the advantage, once you understand how to find a good setup, once you understand how institutions move, how to take advantage of the people, once you really get that, so why are you spending 4 or 5 hours on these markets when what actually not just helps you take profit, but what sustains, maintains, and grows over time your account? That's your mind. That's your discipline. That's what keeps the money. So the technical analysis, the chart work, that can get you paid, but the mindset, that will keep you paid. Who's with me? Who's following along so far? Who's getting some value? Year and 2 months. Prime in La Casa, what's up? No, it's not that I don't trade news. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not distracted by this. I'm not distracted by the numbers and the percentages and who said what. No, the news is what just makes the market move. Right? The news is what makes the market move into our entries or into our exits. That's just what helps us more than anything. All right. Perfect. Guys, don't forget to share some of the notes that you're taking. Don't forget to share some of the value that you're receiving. Share that with your teams. So, all right. Next lesson for you. Because what I'm saying is, even if you have the best strategy in the planet, even if whatever, I don't know how many people you think I've seen trade with the same approach that we have and get completely different results. Why? Psychology is beliefs. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Now this is the one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is the one that not everybody, but who here would consider themselves just traders? I'm a trader. Yeah, I'm not about that building. I'm not about other income streams. I just want to trade. Who here just wants to trade? Let me see what the vibe is like in this chat. Ex Miami game. What's up, Raj? What's going on, G? Who here is I'm I just want to trade. Like that's it. That's the only thing I want to do in this world, and that's it. Nothing else. Let me see. Are there people like that in this chat right now? I think people have other aspirations as well here. All right, so here's what happens. So either you don't want to pick up, or I don't know what you want to do. Build the trade, baby. All right, cool. So if wealth is your main goal, right? If wealth is your main goal, financial freedom is your main goal. If that's the case, you should be seeking ways to generate income. So aside from trading, you should have money coming in other ways, whether it's investing in a business, whether it's investing in real estate, creating an online business, building this business. Like you should have money. You should have money coming in. Live frugally. Like if the trading income is the only income, oh man. So look, all I want to say is the best thing that happened to my trading was having other income streams. It just took so much pressure. It took so much pressure off of the I need to make money this week or this month to pay my rent, to pay my bills. Like, how you position yourself financially makes a big difference. If you're already ahead, 6 months, a year, couple years in your income, like in your savings and all that good stuff, then, you're not really like, it's not the end of the world or anything. But when you have cash flow from other avenues, in this company alone, you could have cash flow from binary options, from cryptocurrencies, whether it's like staking rewards, whether it's nodes, whatever crypto, NFT, I don't know, whether it's building the business, you have e-commerce, you got stores coming in, you got all that good stuff, all that, you got all that going on. Then you know how lovely, and that's the proper word. I don't know how I put it. It's lovely. It's divine. It is sensational to be able to trade your account knowing that it's all a bonus. And it could be your primary income. It could still be your biggest income stream, but it's so stress free. It's so stress free when it happens like that. Trust. And I can just do my thing. So that's one thing I just want to give you perspective. Like, I don't know what happened. I think it's easy for traders to build ego. I'm just being real. Investors to build ego, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a trader. Like, why would I need to do this if I only needed to?" Like I always see like, "Oh, if he was so good at stocks, if he's so good at crypto, if he's so good at forex, then why doesn't he just stick to that?" Well, because why would I limit my income streams? That's absolutely ridiculous. One of the most ridiculous things you can do is limit your income. Like, why would I do that? To me, that's just so backwards. All right, it's like, well, if I'm really good at eating ramen, then I'm not gonna eat curry. Like, come on, man. What? That's tripping. So I don't know. I just want to give you guys that perspective. I'm gonna write it here because I'm gonna be able to word it in a really simple fashion. But yeah, I mean, if your main goal, right? If your priority is to have financial freedom, right? So if your priority is financial freedom, trading income should only be one of many income streams. And I'm not saying like you don't have to go be an entrepreneur, right? You could have great income stream. I'm getting some texts. What's up, Jordan? Like, think about it. And that's so funny. But I'm just being real with you guys. It's such a limitation. And again, I think you don't have to go and starve and be an entrepreneur and eat like complete, oh my God, and suffer so much. Like, you can have a job if you enjoy it, if you're willing to do that, to build your accounts. And there's different ways to do it. I love seeing the squad on here, y'all. Y'all distracted me. I'm gonna put my phone on. And do that. I know plenty of people who had six-figure jobs and they ran it up for, another extra year, extra 2 years while they were trading, making the same, if not more. And then until they felt really comfortable. And they were able to build other businesses on the side, put this business on the side, and, do different things. So understand that. I think there's just a peace of mind. You're able to execute from a place of, like I like to say, from a mindset of abundance. You're able to execute from a mindset of really understanding that it doesn't have to have an immediate effect. So when you genuinely have internalized that the income that comes from trading doesn't have to be what supplements your life now, when that's the way you approach the market, when that's the way you approach your account and the growth of it, it's pretty peaceful. It's a pretty peaceful approach. You can be frustrated by maybe the progress that you're making or you're not, but it just becomes so less stressful. So less stressful. So something I want to give you guys as an example. For me, I was working multiple jobs when I started trading, and while I was losing, as I was funding my growth, and then I went full time. Trading, and I quit all my jobs, full time trading. However, I had my own trading account, so it wasn't a funded account. That means that money was also, in a way, my savings account. And, a weekend a month, I would do some extra, because I was actually in the military. So a weekend a month, I was getting a little bit of income due to that, just due to my responsibility contractually with the government. So I couldn't escape that until they let me go, which was awesome. But even then, at that point, when I did end up leaving the extra supplemental income, I had, a little bit of income to the company. I had some income going through as an educator. I had some crypto stuff going on. Nothing too crazy, but I knew it wasn't just, I wasn't super dependent. I wasn't living crazy. I was living I was living outside of the country, so my expenses weren't insane. So it was just I was just a bit smarter with what I was doing. And so I think people get ahead of themselves a lot pretty fast here. So yeah, I mean, and the thing is as far as, having other income streams, for me, it made a lot of sense to build a movement here in IM, because I'm just passionate about not just trading, but about shifting the way people think, putting people in a position to expand their mind and to look at the world in a different way. And so that's why I really took a passion to building a business, because I also learned what business is, and it's people, and it's people who feel like they're getting a value, or they're getting some sort of service, and they feel like they're winning, So just some perspective for you guys who are maybe newer, or you are experienced, just as you approach trading, how you can really go about this. Now, all right, so this next one, this one took me probably almost a year to get this one down. And it's still something that kind of comes up every once in a while. I'd say more so with crypto now than I did before in Forex. But this next one's important, right? Because you have to learn how to keep a level head, right? You know how to maintain a non-bias. So learn how to approach your outcome without a bias. So what that means is, right, become detached to money or being right. This is like usually more of a battle with your ego and your subconscious. So we've been programmed for decades, right? We've been programmed for decades that if for example, I'll start with being right. You know, we're programmed through education that you need to get a good score, right? You need to be right 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Like, you need to be right often to prove that you are a person of value, right? I got to get a good grade. The only way to get a good grade is to prove that I've memorized this and I can get this right. So that's how we're positioned, right? And trading as a whole, trading is just different because remember, you've now incorporated new elements. The most, I think, the biggest variable is risk to reward. So your mind has to look at life different now. Your mind has to look at this, what you're interacting with, super different. Because now you can afford to not be right as often. Same thing goes with money. So the like, from what I've seen, traders and investors that have the roughest time in progression are the ones that are attached to money. And being attached to money, what that does is either it paralyzes your ability to make a decision because you feel like, because your relationship with money is, it was so hard to get what I have now that I can't afford to lose it, right? But then you start thinking about risk, and most people don't understand risk. There's always risk. Risk is inevitable in any situation. Risk is perpetual. Like, risk is never turned off. Every single situation, every single decision, every single waking second of your life, risk is involved. Now, what the reward is to that risk, that's up to us at any given time. You know, there's always a risk in what you do and what you not and what you don't do. Like, for example, this convention that's coming up here in March, right? March 10th, 12th. There's a risk in, right? There's a risk if you go. I mean, you're risking money, right? That's money that you probably worked for, that you've profited. So yeah, that's on the line. Right? That's money that you risked. Time. Social thing. I didn't want to. Oh man, that chart didn't go through. Like, I didn't even want to ask questions because what if I didn't look? It didn't go through. What if I look dumb? What if this one lost and I'm publicly just lost? And My site. I was just seeing what was in front of me.
Okay, so basically, Mike Navarrete is a educator in this platform, and he was just explaining to everybody that was on this session the psychology of trading, the psychology of um, increasing and building the income. And when you become a person that is interested in making your money inside of the markets, you have to develop a psychology. You cannot allow emotions and um, emotional ideas or emotions inside of the market to get you out of sync of what's happening. And the more that you have control over the psychology of understanding trading, the more you become a better trader. It does take patience when you are trading inside of the markets. And that's basically what he was laying the platform. He was laying the foundation down to understand that, hey, trading is a skill set, guys. You cannot come in and just say, well, I just want to make some quick money, because if you come in with that kind of attitude, then you would quickly lose more so than you win. If all you're thinking about, oh, how quickly can I get this back? There is a thing that you can definitely get it quickly, no sooner than you invested. But if your mindset is the total opposite to longevity, then you're not going to have longevity when it comes to trading. So you have to develop longevity, a mindset of longevity as it relates to trading. And honestly, I feel that at some point, individuals and people of this world, you're going to have to at some point understand this skill set when it comes to trading and understanding whether it's the markets of the New York Stock Exchange. You're going to have to understand, you're going to have to develop some type of skill set or some type of knowledge that is going to increase or help increase or improve your income. um we cannot afford to rely on government abilities or government finances, governmental incomes, because in a sense, some of those things can be designed to keep you within a certain box. Those things can be designed to keep you under control. And when you're under control, or when you're under some type of bondage or dictation, then it doesn't really allow very much for you to have the freedom to develop, the freedom to increase finances, because there's something always designed to say you have to pay this, or we're going to watch this, or we're going to tax this. If you make X amount of dollars and it's funneled through these different platforms, this different channels, then you have to report it. If you do this, then the consequence of you doing this, then we have something, an action plan in order to have a piece of it. And that is what keeps people in bondage. That's what keeps people under control. And that's what keeps the working class and those that rely more so on just a regular pay, their 401k, whatever mutual funds that you may have, insurance policies. Um, it doesn't really allow a lot of freedom to build. It's like you got to work extremely, extremely, extremely hard. So it's almost like you have to work. Let's see. It's like the ratio 20 20 to 1. So it's almost like you got to put in 20 years to get one section of an income. Whereas the world is designed, the markets are designed where you can cut that in a third of the time. It's just that you have to develop the skill set, you have to be patient, you have to exercise discipline, and this is something that you can hold on to for a lifetime. So it doesn't matter what happens in your career. If your job was to say we're going to have to lay off some people due to there's not enough staffing is very, very short, very, very short staff, and we don't have the manpower to perform these tasks anymore. We're going to have to lay off some people because we want to be able to keep our bottom line with payroll. And you just happen to be one of those people in that group of individuals that they decided to let go. What is your other source of recourse? What is your plan B? What is your plan C and plan D and plan E? This is the thing that I'm talking about. See, if you would have started while you are in an unpredictable occupation and you're learning and growing, so if that day was to come for you, you wouldn't feel any way about it. Why? Because in preparation, you have been studying, you have been understanding, analyzing the technical analysis in the market. You have been marking the charts. You understand price point. You understand certain terminologies. It's because you prepared yourself beforehand. So the psychology of trading is simple, yet as individuals, he said that there's a risk to everything, and that he's so right. There is a risk to everything. You can walk out of your door. That's a risk. Actually, living inside of your home can be a risk. Anything can be a risk. Driving to your job, driving on the highway, driving around the corner from your house can be a risk, everyone. It can be a risk. But what's even a bigger risk is if you taking that risk and something happens, God forbid, and you don't have any insurance, or you don't have any money or anything, any savings, anything put away that could help ease the process. If you get sick, anything, and if you're entrepreneur, you don't have health insurance, anything could happen. Anything, risk. We take risk every day. A risk, your life is a risk. People pass away in their sleep. That's a risk. So psychology, discipline, execution, skill set is going to take time in order to understand our world financial markets. It's not a hard thing to understand. It's very simple and easy, but you have to devote the time to say, I want to take time. I don't care. It's 15, 20 minutes a day to learn one aspect of the financial markets. And when you do that, it is very beneficial for you. If you take 20 minutes to learn, you're going to learn more in those 20 minutes than you would have a lifetime, because you're just now experiencing the financial markets. So many of you be like, well, I was today years old that I found out that this equals, or this means X, Y, and Z. I was today years old when I found out this means X, Y, Z. And that's what you want to know you want to come out of the situation better than when you entered it. And some of the terminologies that you may hear out in the news or on TV or whatever financial advisor or expert on TV may have mentioned, a certain terminology. Then you understand, okay, that's what that means, but not to say that they're only going to talk about the stock market, things that's happening with the S&P and the NAS and the US 30. But what I do is a little bit broader, even on a bigger and larger scope. We're talking about a $9 trillion market in which now we're starting to see the metaverse and NFTs starting to enter into a $1 trillion market. See, we see cryptocurrency as a one. I think cryptocurrency is holding that 1.5 trillion in market cap. And now we're seeing some of that money go into the metaverse. So, guys, it's really all a repeated cycle. This is when you're dealing with cryptocurrency, that's forever money. And it's all a cycle. What people do, they purchase crypto, they might purchase Ethereum and or Bitcoin. And what to do with Ethereum, then you go and you buy NFTs and you can sell an NFT. You get involved in the metaverse. You buy digital real estate inside the metaverse. You do a lot of things inside the metaverse. You gain your profits from that. Then you go back and you put it into Bitcoin. You go and put it into Ethereum. You put it into other coin projects. You go and you stake and you hold it. Staking and yield farming. There's so many things, so many facets to that. And cryptocurrency is going to become an even broader topic, an even broader financial market. And right now, if you combine the two, that really actually is at what, 2.5 or $2 trillion in market cap. Guys, that's bigger than the New York Stock Exchange. That market cap is larger than the New York Stock Exchange. The New York Stock Exchange trade every day, maybe around 18 to $22 billion a day. But you have a whole world market of cryptocurrency, the foreign exchange market, the binary options market. Guys, that's over $10 trillion of market cap right there. So you just think about how many billions can you fit inside of $10 trillion. That's a much larger market cap that we're dealing with. That's a much larger market cap that you have the ability to have access to when you are understanding trading. So you have to understand the psychology of which all this stuff comes from. This stuff is not new. Bitcoin cryptocurrency is maybe 13 years old, but all the other stuff, the foreign exchange market, binary options, that stuff is not new. It's been around for a long time. It's just that many of us, people of color, did not have access to it. So you just think about, you have billions of dollars, $22 billion market cap in the New York Stock Exchange. Okay. And you're trading that, but you have access to the crypto world where you have access to trillions of dollars every single day on a daily basis. I just moved over some money from trading, my profits from trading US 30, NAS 100, S&P 500. Guys, and to be honest, that's money that I got probably within maybe an hour or two. And I was able to move that over very quickly. But I understood the psychology. I didn't try to figure it all out by myself. I had the assistance of experted traders until I developed much more of a confident trading strategy or technique for myself. And I was able to gain that money within a period of time. It didn't take me all day to do it, but I relied on and on the technical analysis that showed me how to get that, the skill set that actually showed me how to get um, those profits. So I really definitely encourage you that are watching me. I played that, and actually, I was that instructor was live. We have access to a platform in which I've been happy to partner with, which is I Am Academy, #1 in the world. Um, it takes millions of dollars in order to make sure that we have platforms like that are long lasting platforms, because you see so many newer platforms that emerge, but they don't have the staying power. #1, because they don't have enough of the market cap in order to um, make sure that they're registered with whatever compliance that needs to be maintained to have such a huge organization like that. And that's speaks volumes of the company, and it speaks volumes of the longevity of the company. This company is not here to be here for a short time. They're in it for a long haul. This is revolutionary. This is revolutional and legacy building. This is planned to be here long after the creators are gone. So, um, the psychology of trading, guys. Again, you can't come in with a get rich quick scheme. You get in with the intentions of developing longevity. When you have the right mindset, when you have the intentions of longevity, then your trades, once you invest, oh, they're going to come very quickly. Why? Because your intentions are good. Your intentions are for longevity. So once you make that initial investment and your money ROI is within a shorter period of time than you would have imagined. Why? Because the initial point was to have a skill set of longevity and not chasing money, but longevity and legacy. That's what allowed the universe and to return back much quicker than a person that's greedy, because greed can definitely prolong your success in trading. So I hope that this was very informative. You were on actually a go live with me that was live in real time with an educator. And he does the psychology of trading every Sundays around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but you don't have access to it unless you are a part of our academy. So make sure that you get access to be a part of this academy so that you can be in rooms such as what we were in earlier, learning the psychology of trading. All this is to help you. All of this is to develop you to a person where you've able to replace your work income, or you're able to replace several streams of your income in just one income stream. All of this is developed for personal development, trading development, skill set, and discipline. So thank you for the entire time of being able to watch, listen, and to get started, you can definitely DM me. I respond very quickly, and I would love to be able to help you. I love to be able to work with you, and I would love to see you develop very large and huge success inside of this platform. So have a wonderful Sunday evening, and we'll chat soon. Have a good one. This is Kimberly McKinney, and I'm signing out. Thank you. This is February the 20th, 2022. Guys, have a wonderful evening. Talk to you soon.